This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Ricky Ducky Tabby, bitches!
And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast here on Most Valuable Podcasts. This is where we usually talk about movies, nerds, superhero, gaming. We kind of hit it all. Today, though, we're kind of looking at some superhero stuff with some Star Wars stuff. Got some exciting things going on. Avengers Infinity War. That goes ahead and drops, so we got to talk about that. Obviously. We're actually going to watch the trailer on the podcast for you guys. Also, then we're going to look at Star Wars, and if Rey could go over to the dark side in that movie, that is next week. And then we will look at Titans. They give us our first look at the Robin suit. We're going to talk about if we're excited, just impressions about the image.
I don't know yet.
And really, should we be excited for Titans, the TV series, because it's going to be on the DC streaming service and not on TV like you see the Arrowverse. But before we get into everything, a little bit of housekeeping for you guys. Number one, patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. This is your way to help support the channel. We are going to have, as of January, I almost said July, January 1st, we will have something for you guys. It's a little secret right now. We'll be revealing something that we are only able to do with the help of our patrons. So thank you to Patrick. Thank you to Jake. Thank you to Christian. Thank you to Brandon for their help. And you can become a patron too. That link down below in the description. Number two, if you're on iTunes or if you have an iTunes account, go on to iTunes. Please give us that 5-star rating. Rick and Johnny Podcast, The Fast Break, The Primetime Podcast, and The Onside Kick. Give us that good rating, that 5 stars. It really helps us and helps more people get their eyes and ears on to what we're doing here at MVP. And last but not least, Johnny, a new addition to the housekeeping. We have MVP shirts.
Ooh.
We now have what we've had them. Now we can sell them.
Yay.
And it's Most Valuable Podcast black t-shirts. If you want to know how to do that, it's down below in the description. But all you got to do is email us your size, your name, your address. We'll send you an invoice via Square. You'll pay for it, and then we'll ship you out your Most Valuable Podcast t-shirt. So all of that down below in the description. But Johnny, housekeeping is over, and now it is time to get to the real topic of this podcast. And basically, Marvel broke the internet.
Yes, they did.
Marvel went ahead and they broke the internet for an entire day.
Yes.
Because going into this trailer, I didn't know when it was coming.
I think they had to shut down the internet in some countries.
They should have. That's how big this was. But there was like an image, I think it was the Russo brothers. They put out a 3, and then people are like, well, is that going to be December 3rd, which could have been today?
Yeah.
Will it be 3 days, which would have been like Friday or Saturday, I think? Nope, just meant third day of the week.
We're going to drop it on Wednesday.
The third day, that's when we're going to get the trailer.
We'll drop it on Wednesday.
So what we are going to do is we're going to watch it. We're going to react to it. Because first off, Marvel is not like Fox.
No.
Fox, when we did the New Mutants one, they're like, hey, you know what? We like what you're doing, but we're going to take your ad money. Which I was like, all right, Fox, be like that. Did it for Black Panther. Marvel's like, no, bro, you can keep your money. So we are going to actually be able to watch the trailer, give our, this is like a maybe 5th reaction for me. I don't know how many times you've watched the trailer, but I watched it quite a bit. So if you have not seen it, if you're on YouTube, you will get to see it. If you're on our streaming services, the website, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, you'll be able to hear it as we're still going to play it. But do you have yours all tuned up? Are you ready to go? Johnny's got to switch his headphones really quickly.
Because Johnny's got that thing going on. And I'm putting my glasses on because I'm going blind.
So he can actually see what is going on for the trailer. You tell me when you're ready, and then we'll go ahead and start this. Johnny's like, man, I couldn't have my glasses out and ready to begin with. You all good over there?
Yeah, I can't hear you, but
I can't. I have not been able to hear you for a while. I put mine
that's right. You're just
into my computer. So we're gonna do it old school.
Let's
you ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
There was an idea.
Is that Jupiter?
I think so.
Okay.
To bring together a group of remarkable people.
That's what I'm most intrigued. How does Hulk get back?
Why is he down in there?
Yeah.
Something more.
Because he's on the ship at the end of...
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So
he's
when
on the
they
ship
need
in
us,
Thor Ragnarok.
we could fight the battles.
That they
Got
never
the
could.
love interest going back on.
Now, that Thor image, was that him in the Guardian ship or him in the ship that he was in to end Thor Ragnarok?
I don't know. I'm trying to tell because it doesn't look like the Guardian ship. So it might be like very beginning of the and saying what happened.
You will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're
Oh,
wrong.
I love that.
You get
That's
your
my
Spidey
favorite
sense now.
scene.
All the same.
Just all the hairs and then what's going on.
The hell?
Dreaded.
I want to know what the hell that thing is.
I think it's one of
run
Thanos'
from
ships.
it.
Yeah, but what the hell? Like it's got all those
Destiny
spinning
still
gears.
arrives.
Look, you backstabbing.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a
That was
shield.
epic.
Was that Cap catching the spear?
I think it is. Now, I want to know what alien race is because it doesn't look like the Chitauri we had.
No, it's not.
So I wonder who it is.
But this does put a smile on my face. What the hell are you guys?
Groot's a little bit older.
A little bit older.
Not full grown Groot. They, like I said, broke the internet as I'm going to move
Yes, they
into. Can I hear you? I can hear myself, and I can hear Johnny now. As now we are going through and going to talk about it, and I'm going to ask you, Johnny, just right
There we
away,
go.
what the main just topic of our whole thing is. What should we expect from Infinity Wars?
What should we expect from Infinity Wars? Shit.
It's a loaded question. It's a loaded gun that I'm basically handing over to you.
Should we trust Johnny with that?
No, we shouldn't, but I am anyways.
God,
what should we expect from this movie?
Man, so much is going on. And it's supposed to be kind of part one of part two.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're getting a ton of stuff set up. Cap, we're gonna get Cap coming back. Thor and well, no, maybe not Thor, but definitely Hulk is somehow coming back. Loki, and if I want to say, I'm wondering if I saw this correctly. Wasn't he stepping over people?
Yes. So
The question I was gonna bring up about that is that people from Earth,
I don't think that's Earth.
or are those Asgardians that he just basically?
I think
Stabbed them all in the
I
back.
would lean more towards the first one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Earth. I think it's one of those where that's more towards the beginning. Because spoilers, by the way, for Thor Ragnarok, if you
Yes.
have not seen it. However, after a month, I feel like I can go ahead and talk about
I
this.
think-
I have
that's-
to. But the last thing we saw was Thanos' ship showing up.
Yeah, it's just them flying in a ship trying to get to
I
Earth
feel-
and Thanos' ship.
I feel like this is Loki. Hey, I'm going to save my ass. This is what you were looking for. Or if it's later on, like he gets away with the Tesseract.
Yeah.
And then later on is stepping over people going, here you go, big guy. This is what you're looking for. Save my, pardon me. Like, don't kill me and I'll let you have this. Where I get, if I was Thanos, I'd be like, thanks, bud. Bam, because I don't need you.
Exactly.
I am so much more stronger than you.
Exactly. I mean, Loki's just, in a sense, it's like Loki's finally delivering. I don't need you now.
The thing
That's Thanos' MO too. It's like, hey, I'm done with you. I don't need you around.
the thing I wanted to ask you to start though
Yes.
is, and this kind of segues into it because we know that the Tesseract is the space gem, right?
Yes, it's the
space gem?
space so you can move throughout anywhere.
And that's how he's able to like teleport when he opens that portal.
That's the space
That's
stone.
the space stone. Here's the thing I want to ask you. We've had this conversation before.
Yes.
But it looks like from this trailer, people are starting to say we know for sure that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. What do you think?
You know what? Maybe it is because, I mean, at this point, it looks like there's a huge invasion of Wakanda.
And that's the thing. Why would there be if there wasn't something there for Thanos?
The only one of two things there's only one of two things it could be for.
Mm-hmm.
The mass amount of vibranium, which isn't really Thanos probably doesn't give much of a shit about.
Because he can break the vibranium.
He can
if he's got
break whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, if he has all 5 stones.
Exactly.
Too.
Well, it looks like, and I'll get into this after this.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing would be the other stone is there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, who knows what this part is? Because remember, no, I correct myself because Hulk is part of that. So I was gonna say maybe this is a Thanos thing. This is like just some other alien invasion. Hey, we want the vibranium shit. But you know what? No, that wouldn't really correlate to the story too well. So you know what? No, this has got to be a Thanos thing. I would really think it would be. And the only thing I could really think he's going in there for is the Soul Stone, unless it's at a point where Vision's there.
Well, and that's another thing is I don't think Vision's there. Well, would he be?
He could
because
be.
we do see the shot in the trailer of I think it's midnight, Proxima Midnight.
Proxima Midnight, I think.
Bam,
Scepter,
I'm
trying to
putting
get
the scepter right on the mind gem.
Yeah.
So that we can get that from Vision.
Yeah.
Which I find it funny that it's like Vision, hey, I'm gonna hide everything, I'm gonna be a human. Oh wait, there's a glowing stone in my forehead still.
Exactly. That's the one thing apparently he can't hide.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty interesting because you just got full out war that's going to go on.
Hence the title, Infinity War.
Oh, whoa, what? Hey, no, but I don't know if you noticed the thing I was going to go back to.
Okay.
He's already got 2 stones.
He does, and
He's
that's
got the one from Loki.
nothing.
But there's purple.
The power. How does he
Stone.
get the power? The last
That's what
time
I'm
we
wondering.
saw. Well, here's what I think of. Isn't the Power Stone right now technically? Isn't that still with the Nova Corps?
It's supposed to be.
What if we get revealed that like how he got that one? He just destroyed the Nova Corps.
Possibly.
The Nova Corps is dead.
Yeah.
Everybody is wiped out with the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I could see that being the situation.
It's the least guarded of the gems right now.
I mean,
No disrespect to the Nova Corps, but
No.
Thanos is
no, it's not.
okay. Shoot me down.
The ether is just with the collector.
True.
Just sitting in the collection.
True. So we've got 2 that are not really. But which one's going to entice Thanos more to get first?
Power
Power
Stone.
or ether?
Oh, power. Well, I mean, ether's reality, so...
Well, the Power Stone, I'm assuming, so that punch he gives to Tony Stark, assuming the Power Stone puts a little bit more behind that.
Yeah, it does.
Puts a little bit more behind that
a little
punch.
bit.
I mean, the whole body mass issue is first like, yeah, that punch is going to hurt, but there was nothing to me more revealing, like more, not revealing, but more, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know when I'm going to relate it to food.
Okay.
You know when you're really hungry
Yeah.
and rewarding. That's
Yes,
what I'm looking for.
okay.
And you bite into that burger and you're like, oh, this is so rewarding. Like, this is like, I am so satisfied with what I am eating.
Saying.
Just see, the way they did it too. Here's the gauntlet and how he drops it and to hear it clink and then lock into place.
Yeah, just...
There was nothing more rewarding in this entire trailer than to see that.
Right? Just, I mean... I don't know.
I mean, I know he's the bad guy, but it's like I've been watching these stones for, 18 movies? Or Black Panther will be 18?
Yeah.
And now I finally get to see it in the stupid
gauntlet?
mitt. In this stupid mitt that I've been seeing.
I'll do it myself.
Oh, yeah. Seeing him put it on, but it has no gems in it. Now I actually get to see gems in it.
Right? No, that's super exciting to see. I am stoked. May can't get here any sooner.
No, it cannot.
No.
And we will be there to see the movie.
Yes, we will.
The thing I wanted to throw out there, because I don't know their exact names, but how you mentioned, you're like, oh, these creatures, because they don't look like Chitauri. From what I understand, they're not Chitauri. They are like mindless minions of Thanos.
Interesting.
Where they're basically there to, from what I heard, it was something with like the brain waves or something. They're basically there to get information for Thanos.
Okay.
And they're like his last. So it goes Thanos, Black Order, these minions. And I can't, if you guys out there know the name, I tried looking it up, but everything just says Black Order, Black Order, Black Order. It's like, I know what the Black Order is.
Yeah, exactly. It's his, 4 generals?
Yeah.
Maybe 5.
But if you guys know the creatures like that Black Panther punches, the actual name, please let us know.
The 4-armed ones,
the
because
description.
they're not Chitauri, but I mean, I understand Thanos has control over many different areas because of how powerful he is. It could be meant any number of things. I'm curious on what they are.
Another question I was going to ask you, because this is something that I have heard across the internet.
Yes.
The Hulkbuster suit. Is Tony Stark in that suit? And the only reason why I say that is in the trailer, Tony Stark is in New York, Hulkbuster's in Wakanda, Tony Stark isn't in Wakanda. Is that Tony in the suit, or is that Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster suit?
Could be Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster. Could be anyone in the Hulkbuster. Could be remotely done. Tony Stark can remotely control those suits.
Here's the thing, though, and this is continuity issue that I've seen thrown out.
Yeah.
Didn't he destroy all the suits at the end of Iron Man 3?
Iron Man 3, and then Avengers, he had his new suit, and he had the Hulkbuster.
Yeah. Can he still control that
Yeah.
remotely, though?
Yeah.
From New York all the way to Wakanda? That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't say
distance.
I wouldn't see why not.
Okay.
It's Tony Stark. He's got satellites up high.
What would you rather see? Because for me, I've already got it in my head. I would love to see Bruce Banner in the Hulk suit, because it's like, shit, I can't Hulk out. Here, take this suit. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You're kind of the Hulk.
That's what I'm wondering is what's going to happen, because it looks like he was working on it, or he's like, because you see Bruce Banner with the arm of it right there, and he's obviously either working on it or it's sitting there right then. Yeah. So I think it's him. But then when you see the battle scene, he comes running out.
I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to try to blow your mind. You ready? Imagine this. I can't turn into the Hulk. I want to help. How do I do it? Here, have the Hulkbuster suit. He's in the suit, punching, going at it, and then all of a sudden gets rageful, hulks out, and just busts the suit off of the Hulk.
That would be amazing.
And then you have the Hulk. Just imagining Bruce Banner in that suit, and then the suit just busts, and it's boom, the Hulk.
I mean, unless it's like a small Splinter Cell-ish type group that comes at them first, and he comes out with the suit and then fights them, because he's at Hulk in the initial like battle
when they
charge.
all like turn the corner, he's in the back. I find it weird that War Machine is in Wakanda and not with Tony. Yeah, he's in the back. When you see like Cap and them running, he's in the top left flying like Superman.
Because I know I saw Falcon's there.
Yeah.
Because you see him flying in with the double guns going on and everything.
Falcon's on the right. On the left, it's War Machine. He's doing one of these flying through.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a point where he can't Hulk out, because there was an issue, and again, spoilers.
In Thor Ragnarok.
Where he doesn't want to Hulk out 100% because he's worried about being stuck as the Hulk. So I wonder if that's going to play into it. And yeah, I'm looking at it again as we're talking about it, because I want to just see if there's anything else we really need to talk about, because obviously everything was amazing, well put together trailer. But I just saw it again. He's talking to what it looks like. It looks like he's talking to Nat.
Yeah.
But he's got the arm of the Hulkbuster suit right there. And you're right, Tony is in New York, so that's like two separate situations going on. And I'm waiting for the Wakanda stuff to pop up. I still, again, I want to know what the ring is in the sky, because I get it. You said it's might be.
I think it's just a transport ship. That's how Thanos gets from his actual ship down to Earth.
But here's the thing.
Or gets his Black Order down to Earth.
I would say it could be a transport ship, but what's with the spinning gears?
Maybe that's just how
inside
it goes.
all the stuff.
Or maybe it's a harvester ship.
That's what I'm wondering more so, is like something to harvest with, because then there's Thor out in space.
I was going to ask you about that
stuff. So I wonder if the two of those things are connected.
I want to ask you this about the Thor thing.
Yeah.
First off, complete throwback to Captain America when he's grabbing the helicopter. He's like, it is a straight throwback to that. Do you think this is at the beginning where Thor is, hey, I am fighting Thanos right now and trying to save my Asgardian people? Or is this at the end where Thor's in space trying to shut off a converter to stop Thanos' attack on Earth?
Okay, I see the thing now with War Machine, by the way. What I'm wondering is the one that's in New York, if that's connected to the one Thor's doing, and those things falling down in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like you said, Harvest. I mean, if part of it's Harvester, part of it's the ship to drop those
what it looks like
underlings.
The thing that Thor is on looks like one of two things to me. One could just be a big battery. A big battery that powers everything that Thanos wants to do. Number two, it could be, if it's at the beginning, one of the, like, in the thrusters of one of the ships, and I got to shut this ship down. I got to take away their power. I got to save my people. However, you know what? Scrap that second one, because they do show another one where it's just on its own. So it's either at the beginning and it's like, I got to save my people, or it's like it's a battery and a source to help what's going on Earth. However, that one to me is like, I can't wait to see what that one's like.
I want to know what that is, definitely. Because the other thing I'm wondering now is, like, you see him, like, you said you saw it by itself at first?
Yeah, because when they go in before they, so it's, right after it's Peter Parker on the ship and he stands up real tall, they show a shot of it, and it's a huge circular ring with Thor in the middle. Yeah. Another thing I've heard people say is, what if this is towards the beginning of the movie? What if this is Thanos after he has ambushed Thor's ship? This is a prison. He has locked Thor up. However, that had been kind of debunked, because then it shows it's like he's grabbing onto. Yeah,
he's grabbing it. He's not, like, strapped in. So I'm wondering of one of a few things. Like you said, maybe it's something along the lines to help Thor's people get, like, well, who's left, because you see Loki stepping over people. Maybe it's to get whatever's left transported. Maybe it's some sort of transport, and he's like, it's not holding for long, so he's got to hold that thing in place, because he's right in the middle of it, and he's like pulling towards him. So I'm wondering, I'm really wondering what that's all about. And the other thing we haven't talked about, you don't see a lot of Scarlet Witch. I wonder what she's going to play into it.
I think it's just going to be her and Vision off on their own.
Yeah.
She's going to play into it. Exactly. It's her and Vision trying to be excluded from everybody until they come and find Vision. Yeah, because it's not just, I mean, I think it was like you said, Proxima Midnight staff, but there's more than one of them there, because I see another staff. I feel like what's going to happen is Scarlet Witch is going to try to do something to stop them. Yeah. And she's just going to get hit and boom, knocked to the side. Basically, we're too powerful for you. Get the fuck out of our way, kind of a thing. And then they take the stone from Vision. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's more towards the end. Yeah. And either the last thing we see is him get 3 of the 5. And then, or if he doesn't even get that until the next movie. Because really, this is supposed to be like a heist movie. Yeah. Where he's getting the gems from everybody. And I kind of think about how many of the gems, are they going to have him assemble all 5 gems at the end and then cliffhanger it? Or is it going to be, hey, I've got 3 of the 5 and then a cliffhanger? I don't think we're going to, the only reason I don't think we're going to get all of them for like Thanos getting all of them, because so far there's been nothing that even hints on him getting the Reality Stone. We still don't even know where the Reality Stone is, the Aether, right? The Aether, yeah, the one that's with the Collector. So apparently we see the blue, we see the purple. Excuse me. We know where Visions is at. We think the Soul Stone's in Wakanda now. No, now we think it's in Wakanda. First we thought it was... Think about way back when we first started this podcast in February. Yeah. Which hasn't been a year since we've... Hasn't been a full year since we've done this podcast. Think about that. Yep. Blows my mind every time. One of the first thing we talked about was, where's the Soul Stone? And we were... Hela was one of them. Oh, is it with Hela? No, it's with Heimdall. We thought that for days. Now everyone thinks it's in Wakanda.
There's still part of me that thinks it could be with Heimdall because we don't know what happened with him either.
Maybe he brought it to Wakanda.
Maybe he did.
Maybe something. That is going to be the most. You know how I said that him putting it in the gauntlet was the most rewarding? Them actually revealing where the Soul Stone is going to be the most rewarding.
We've been waiting the longest for that.
And it's not like one where it's like usually when you have movies, it's like we figure it out after a while.
Yeah.
No one has been able to figure this out.
No
one knows where this stone is.
Let's put it this way. Every time a movie comes out, it shifts the question of where's the Soul Stone?
Remember the one where we talked about? Oh, is it with Odin behind his eye patch?
Is it with Odin behind the eye patch? Is Hela gonna get it?
Is it Heimdall?
Is it with Heimdall? Now it's like, is it in Wakanda? I guess we'll find out. We'll have to wait and find out again.
How do you think it gets to Wakanda?
Because
I don't know. If you asked me, Ricky, how did it get to Wakanda? I don't know. Heimdall brought it there. Maybe the Guardians had it and brought it there. Like they get it somehow. I have no idea how it would get. Maybe Black Panther had it and nobody knew because nobody wanted. Like nobody thought to check Wakanda.
That's the thing. That's what I'm wondering.
What if it's just there and it's like, oh yeah, we've had this for years.
That's what I'm wondering though. Is like, what indicates that Wakanda has a Soul Stone? Nothing so far. And
the big the whole thing right now is the big battle because why would Thanos want Wakanda?
Well, no, that I'm talking about any time before that.
No, there's no reason.
And the other thing is, we have to wait for Black Panther, and maybe there's some indication there. My guess would be in some way it made it from, and I'm still gonna stick with my guns and say Heimdall has it. Say either Heimdall goes or he hands it off to Thor before everything happens, saying you can't let him have this. So that actually brings me to now I thought about it. That could be why, maybe Heimdall himself brings it there, and that's why Thor's in that thing trying to
stop Thanos from getting it.
Yeah,
well, that's the whole point.
Give Heimdall some time. Basically, buy him some time. Thor's gonna stay there, and that ship gets destroyed, and then he meets up with the Guardians, and that's where all that goes. That's one of my hypotheses right there.
I want to ask you another thing.
Sure.
And this goes now we're jumping to this. And if you're on YouTube, this is kind of started part 2. I don't know how I'm going to split this up. It's obviously going to be part 1 and part 2, but Captain America.
Yes.
What's his backstory, you think, coming into this? Because the last thing we saw, what's the last movie we saw Cap in?
We saw him in Civil War.
We technically saw him in Homecoming. Technically.
Well, yeah. with the videos and then the thing at the end.
Which was hilarious. How many of these are we going to do? How many post-credit scenes? What do you think is...
You guys waited here. Actually calls us out.
What do you think is going to be... is Cap going to be basically... Do you think he's going to have been off the grid for some time? And that's now him coming back?
I think he's been off the grid.
Somebody get this man a shield.
Yeah, I think he's been kind of off the grid. Almost maybe doing the Nomad thing.
You've mentioned
from the comics.
You've mentioned this before.
I have.
I think you really like it with how much you mention it.
Well, no, because it's where the storyline's going. At some point in his storyline, Cap just kind of renounces the Captain America title, kind of renounces America as being the #1 thing he stands for, and being, I'm just for everyone. I'm for the people. Anyone who needs help, and we see a lot of this hinted at, blatantly said in, what's the movie?
Civil War.
No. Yeah, no, you're right. Civil War.
I'm thinking that's the last one we saw Cap
It's the Sokovia Accords. He's like, no, I can't just stand by and wait for a governmental thing to say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, now you can move in.
Yeah.
No, I need to stop it before it becomes something horrible. Which is cool too. I really think, and we'll have to wait and see who it is because you can't. I think it's Cap that catches that spear.
That's what it's him that catches it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of, Proxima
Midnight's, but
is
it's
that
one of them.
Proxima Midnight's spear? Or is that, oh shoot, someone's coming out of the shadows and like Black Panther, someone shoots a spear and
it could be Black Panther.
And he catches it, and then it's like, get that man a shield, and he steps out of the shadows.
But I think Black Panther knows Cap, like it might be Cap. Because I think that's what he's kind of doing. He's laying low in Wakanda. But I mean, maybe he goes to the surrounding cities and because he's not going to stop the superhero thing.
I want to ask you this too. Does Bucky get unfrozen in Black Panther or Infinity War?
Cutscene in Black Panther.
You think so?
That's what I'm going to go with.
You think he get one of them? Because now there's usually two.
Yeah, one of 8.
They'll go with, hey, you know what? We've got to unfreeze him. Or Cap will be there. No, I wouldn't put Cap in there because I like the reveal of him like coming out of the shadows.
Yeah.
I think that was an editing tool, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think get that man a shield and then he steps out of the shadows. I just think they're all standing around and somebody get that man a shield kind of a thing. Like that's when, okay, we're going to fight.
We're going off
this
the war.
Thanos invasion. I want to ask you this. This is a heavy hitting question.
Yeah.
Who dies?
Who dies?
Who dies? Somebody's got to die, right? Like you have a movie this I'm going to say amazing, this high up there, somebody's got to die. We know Chris Evans, his contract is basically up after 4. We know that Iron Man is up, and they don't have to die in this movie, but will there be anyone that dies in this movie?
I'm going to go with, can I do 2 of them?
Go ahead.
It's going to be
how many you want.
One of 2, Cap or Tony. We're gonna kill off one of the 2 top main guys.
I'd say Cap. I would go with Cap. The reason why is you have a replacement. You can either do one of 2 things. You can give the mantle to Falcon, or you can give the mantle to Bucky. I think they would give the mantle to Bucky because of the whole character development of what he went through in Civil War. He was frozen. They basically rebooted his system.
Yeah.
And to do the right thing kind of a thing.
There's that. And the only reason I want to go maybe also Iron Man is because he's got a relationship with everyone now, and he's gone from this self-centered prick to a guy that it doesn't always seem like it, but he would give it up for anyone.
Here's the thing, and this was the last thing I was going to throw out with that though. Who would be impacted more by the death? Iron Man if Cap died, or Cap if Iron Man died? I would think Iron Man because it was a whole like if Cap dies, then it's like it flashes back to Civil War with a shit. I have connections now with all these people, and the last memory I have of you is us fighting each other, friends fighting each other. I think that would be more impactful on a Tony character than a Rogers.
I'm gonna go opposite.
Okay.
Because we're almost could expect Cap to act like that and lay himself on the line. But the other part is, I'm trying to remember where I was going with it 100%. Tony, you don't expect it from. B, I feel like Tony's going to only because of what his vision was in Age of Ultron. Remember, he saw all of them die
because of Scarlet Witch.
Because of Scarlet Witch, and it still haunts him.
Yeah,
you can tell it still haunts him. He doesn't want anyone to die because of anything. He wants to so I think it's going to be Tony maybe sacrifices himself because it'll hit Cap because it's the same vice versa. Last memory is us fighting. It's going to hit Vision because there's still got to be Jarvis in there if Vision makes it through this because they are going to take his stone, or it looks like they're going to take his stone.
Yeah, so this is what I'm getting.
Okay.
If Cap dies, it's more emotional if it's one person. Well, everyone will be sad, but it's really Tony.
And Bucky.
Whereas if Tony dies, more people get that same feeling because he has. I get what you're saying because he has
Cap,
so many more connections.
Yeah, exactly. Tony has so many. There's probably going to be something between him and Doctor Strange at this point because they're definitely with him and Bruce. You're going to have whatever you're maybe even going to get a clip of the distraughtness if Pepper finds out. He's got so many more connections to all these people. Yeah, now that they're married.
Spoiler for Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I feel like there's so many more connections for Cap and him, or I'm sorry, Tony and everyone than Cap and everyone in some ways, just because
It's got to be one of the two.
I think it's one of the two.
Because their contracts. Well, I don't want to say, well, because your contracts are up, but because their contracts are up.
Their contracts are up, but I mean, it also helps to follow the storyline. If Cap dies, you have that replacement thing of one of two.
Yeah.
But if Tony dies, there's a ton of connections and there's a ton of emotional ties. There's also a huge emotional tie to all of us.
Well,
because we've had him since 2008.
And that's what I was going to just say is what if it's Tony? Because it's like for us as the viewer, shit, that started it all. Iron Man started it all.
Yes.
I want to say what Iron Man was that June of 2008?
I think so.
I'm going to look it up really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm trying to think of how old I think I was either in high school. Yeah, it was May of 2008. So when this whole thing started, I was just graduating.
Same.
Or about to graduate high school.
Yeah, depending on the day, we either had just...
It was May 2nd.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, 2008.
I was about to graduate in like a week or two.
Yeah, we were done with finals. It was basically... Because I remember the night scene. I remember not like everything, but I remember the theater I was at. I remember what section of the theater we were in. And I remember the feeling I had standing up from that movie, looking over at my friends, looking over at Dave, going, we're going to get this is going to lead to Avengers. Like, because he said the Avengers Initiative. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is going to lead somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And not just be like a one-off movie.
And look at how far we've gone. But I mean, it's...
18 movies.
Yeah. I mean, but...
And I've seen every one.
But look how many he's been in. Look how many connections he has. And look how much of a connection he probably has to all of us as viewers. Because he's the one that's... Tony Stark is the one that started it all off. And if he's the one that ends it, in a sense, that's going to be a huge impact. Because we've had him since 2008. It's... When this movie is going to be what? 11 years?
I think it...
When the final one comes out?
Actually, I think it might be almost 10 years to the day.
Well, this one will be 10 years to the day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, holy crap.
Huh.
May 4th.
Yeah.
Almost like the exact...
Yeah.
You know they planned that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You know they planned that.
Almost every Avengers movie comes out in May.
No, I know, but you know they planned it to say, hey, you know what, this all started May 2nd. Let's have it that same weekend.
Yeah.
Let's have it that same weekend, that same Friday. We'll probably see it May 3rd. So it will almost be 10 years ago.
10 years to date.
10 years ago, I was just watching Iron Man 1.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
A whole decade. We've had a whole decade now.
When
this movie comes out, it'll be a full decade.
Of Marvel movies.
Exactly.
And here's one thing I want to bring up. This is not related to the trailer. This is just a side conversation because we just brought up.
Yeah.
Think about this, and you guys sitting at home, either watching or listening, think about this in your head as well. How many people have we had throughout this entire 10-year run? Have you heard someone go, well, the superhero movie has to die sooner or later.
Exactly.
Eventually the trend's going to die. 10 years now have gone past, and we're going strong. We're even thinking about Phase 4.
Yeah.
We're even thinking about Phase 4.
Phase 4 is just going to change it up a bit and how the phases go. That's it. We're not like, we're scrapping it and we're going to let it die. No, Phase 4 is like, we're just going to change up some stuff a bit.
Let me put it this way. These last 10 years, you know what they have showed me? One, superheroes are no longer for the nerd who's going to read comics in his mom's basement.
Exactly.
Superheroes, and I would say even comic book movies in general now, are becoming more mainstream, getting more kids into it early because they fall in love with these characters from an earlier age.
Exactly.
And number two, it just shows, and I look at Marvel, not just having the plan, but when you give people the time to do things, what can happen? Because I actually read this past week. Apparently Kevin Feige and Marvel wanted to do the Captain Marvel movie before, like way before DC ever did Wonder Woman.
Really?
But the executives at Marvel Entertainment said, no, we're not going to do that. We can't sell a female hero in a solo film. Then Wonder Woman happened and they all looked and said, this is what I told you. This is what we could have done. They beat us to the punch. And then basically from like that point on and ever since, you've noticed it's like, okay, Kevin, you do you. Hands off.
Whatever you want to do, we'll do.
In Kevin Feige, they trust.
Exactly.
I say that about Jeff Johns all the time, but if he's given the freedom, maybe I could trust him a little bit more. Any final thoughts about this trailer? Anything we did not hit? I know the Guardians we didn't hit because we've seen, interesting, they show them at the end.
Yes.
However, from the leaked D23, the expo in Anaheim earlier this year, there was a lot more battle scenes. Like, there were scenes in that we didn't see in this. Doctor Strange creating the footsteps for Chris Pratt, who Star-Lord.
Yes.
Blanked my name for a second. But we didn't. There are stuff that we didn't see. Obviously, they're probably saving that for either the movie or
another
a future trailer.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about the Guardians? I know they weren't really in it.
Yeah,
that much.
we didn't really get much. We just got basically what we saw. What was it? At the end of Thor, was it?
Who are you guys?
Who the hell are you guys? No, it wasn't the end of Thor. We saw it with someone.
At the end of the trailer.
Was it the end of the trailer?
The end of this trailer. It cuts and it goes.
No, I'm saying, didn't we see it once before too? Like, it's basically the same thing we've seen before, I feel like.
No, what we saw before was in the leaked footage. Thor hit the windshield.
Yeah, and then he wakes up and says, "Who the hell are you guys?"
No, not that. He wakes up and Rocket goes, "The wipers! Hit the wipers!"
No, and then I think we have in that same leaked one. I feel like we've seen it. Is he does wake up, at least stare at them?
Yeah, he stares at them. I don't think he says, "Who the hell are you guys?"
But basically, we've seen the same thing then.
Yeah.
We didn't get much with the Guardians yet, other than what we got in some of the other leaked one where, again, Doctor Strange is throwing out the footsteps for Pratt. And, I mean, I'm curious to see how more so they're going to play into it. I wonder if they're going to go try and get and protect, so they can protect the Reality Stone, maybe?
Maybe they go and try to, shoot the Power Stone, and that's how they find out Thanos has the Power Stone.
Yeah. It could,
because the only one with connection to the Power Stone and the Nova Corps is the Guardians.
Exactly.
They're the only ones.
And, well, that's why I brought the Reality Stone. The only one that has that is Thor. Because as Guardians brought it to the Collector to hold on to.
But does he it's like he doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
The Collector does?
No, I'm talking Thor.
No.
Like, Thor doesn't have it, and it's the Collector. I wonder if Thor...
But Thor has that connection just like Guardians to the Nova Corps.
See, what the Collector, I think it's going to be more interesting. How do they bring the Grand Master into it? Because I don't think he's dead.
No, he's not. I don't know if they're... I wonder if they're going to right now.
I don't think they killed him at the end of Thor Ragnarok.
That might be more of a Phase 4 type thing to get into than in this movie.
What, the Grandmaster?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying in one of these two movies, because you have the connection between Grandmaster and Collector as brothers.
Yeah.
I think they're going to reunite in one of these two movies.
Maybe, but I think that would be more so of a Phase 4 thing, because I think right now this is more focused on A, getting the stones, and B, defeating Thanos.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hear me out here.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, A, the Grandmaster is all about saving himself.
Yes.
A, he likes to play a game. He comes and sees his brother. Oh, you have this. That's what they're looking for. And he tries to play Puppet Master.
Maybe.
With one of them as the stone. Because I feel like the last stone he's going to get is the Soul Stone. Because if you've noticed, small, huge fucking gem.
Yeah, and then there's
this Soul Stone is going to be huge.
There's also one in the thumb, so yeah.
Is there? So there's 6?
There's supposed to be 6. That's why we have 6 Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So all the ones that we've seen so far will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And then that 6th one I feel like the Soul Stone's going to be the biggest.
Maybe.
Because we have yet to see the Soul Stone, and every other stone has been tiny.
Yeah, that's true, because we've seen the
Mind Stone is tiny. We see the 2 power in time.
Like we saw before that it was tiny.
Space.
Like, we didn't know at first until today or until this week that power the Space Stone is tiny as well. The ether, who knows? Actually, maybe that could be the one that fills it in too, because the ether's fluid right now. Maybe when it comes in contact with that thing, it becomes just the big stone.
Let me see if there's a picture. I'm looking comics now.
Yeah.
From the Infinity Gauntlet comic book page, how it looks is the small stones are red, which is the ether, purple, which is the power, blue, which is the space, and then there's two that kind of look white and yellowish with the yellow. Maybe it's the Mind Stone that's the big one.
Maybe.
Because that one looks the most yellow out of them. I'm just trying to see like, oh, well, now there's a different one that has a green stone, which would be the Time Stone in the middle. Maybe that one was just weird coloring. But it looks like for most of them, the yellow one is in the middle. Maybe it's the soul. Maybe it's the Time Stone. Maybe it's the Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm. No, we don't. Well, we don't know because it doesn't look like it's matching up with
what they're doing
with everything else. So I mean, it does. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to say it this way. It doesn't look like the comic 100% matches the Infinity Stones because the Infinity Stones were also different colors, if I remember correctly. So, well, I mean, same color set, different switch around of color schemes.
This is where I want you guys to come in, though. We went long on this. This will be, if you're on YouTube, you're currently watching part 2. We split this up into 2 parts on YouTube. If you were on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, you've been listening to it the whole time. But let us know what you guys think down below in the description. What do you think about Infinity War? What are you thinking heading into this movie? Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic. And we're making an executive change here on the Rick and Johnny podcast. At the beginning of the show, I said we'd have 3 topics. That was before I thought we'd do 2 topics just on the Marvel Infinity War trailer its own. So how we are doing things, if you're on YouTube, you've already seen it. Part 1, part 2 for Infinity War. This was actually now the 3rd topic of the week.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 1, part 2. This is now the 3rd topic. The Titan topic that we're going to talk about. We'll do the same thing we did with like the Superwoman topic where we had the female hero series. Yes. We're going to push this off. So maybe next week in advance, we're going to push that Titans topic off a week or 2 and get to that when we have an open spot. But the reason why we're ending the show with this instead of Titans is Star Wars comes out next week, Johnny.
Yes, it does.
Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And I have a very important question for you because this is one through the trailer. I have seen different podcasts and different Star Wars channels talk about this. And in the trailer, we have a moment where it looks like Rey is talking to Kylo and she's questioning herself or what she's doing. And Kylo reaches out his hand. Now, I am in the belief that this is just fancy editing, and that's not how it's going to play out in the movie, but we're still going to entertain the topic anyways, and I want to ask you, in The Last Jedi, Star Wars Episode 8, will Rey turn to the dark side?
I don't think so. I really don't. Because, I mean, we have Kylo, who's the dark side person already, and usually these movies follow a thing of light versus dark. Why would we have double dark? And Luke is so old; he's more of a gray
Jedi. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, no, I'm saying he's more of the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original series. Scenario. He's training. He can maybe take on someone short term, but he's not going to be able to fight for very long because of how old he is.
Yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yes,
that's all I think about. Whenever you say old Obi-Wan, I just think of. Are you old Ben Kenobi? Are you Obi-Wan? That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Because he's old Ben Kenobi.
Exactly.
Oh, you mean old Ben Kenobi? That's who you mean? But I'm kind of on the same way as you.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks it'd be interesting is if they said, let's say both Kylo and Rey throughout this movie, you know what? Fuck this light and dark shit. Let's just team up. Let's be together, but we're not dark or we're light. We're just doing the good thing. We're doing the right thing.
Keeping balance to the Force.
Yeah, by being the balance, basically. Yeah. Being the judgment hammer.
That is what the gray Jedi is supposed to be. It is neither light nor dark. It is keeping balance. So, like, honestly, that the whole concept of, let's put it this way. Let's go back to episode 3.
Okay.
Where...
You're talking... Revenge of the Sith, or are you talking Return of the Jedi?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because originally when you say, "Oh, let's go back to 3," in my head I go, the prequels are garbage. They're deleted, and I was thinking Return of the Jedi.
Bad. 3 wasn't bad.
They weren't great.
I didn't say it wasn't.
I just wanted to make sure we were.
No,
thinking
I said
about
number
the right movie.
3 wasn't bad. I didn't say the first 2 were good.
I said they weren't great. So
I didn't say they were great, did I? Now,
Revenge of the Sith.
Anyways, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Obi-Wan's thought and the Red Jedi's whole thought is
That he has the high ground. That's his thought. He has the high ground.
Before that, that balance of the Force was meaning the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
The Jedi is not balance of the Force. When it becomes 2v2, and because the Sith have a rule of 2. Let's start this off in case anyone doesn't know. Sith have a rule of 2. You have a master, you have an apprentice.
So you had like Palpatine and Vader.
Exactly.
You had Vader and what was it?
Well, it was him trying to get Luke, and then he would have killed off Palpatine anyways.
True.
You have...
Because they kill off their masters, right?
Palpatine Dooku, you have Palpatine Maul. And actually, I guess the thought was, no.
Was it Palpatine Maul?
No, it wasn't.
Dooku
It's
Maul?
Dooku Maul. And I think Dooku was probably going to plan on killing off Palpatine then. Just like Palpatine and his master.
But Darth Maul died.
Darth Maul
died, so he couldn't do that because then he didn't.
And he had Anakin kill Dooku, so it could again stay as a rule of 2.
Yeah.
Now, when Anakin killed off everyone except for Obi-Wan and Yoda, that's balanced to the Force.
Okay.
2v2, dark and light.
Yeah.
If they were just right in the middle of Grey Jedi, balance to the Force. They just make good is good, evil is evil.
It does not matter what side you're on. There has to be
equal. Like the world has to have equal. So they'll be bringing balance to the Force if they both become Grey Jedi. But I mean the walking line of the Grey Jedi is you can waver on light or dark. So I mean.
Well, and also the whole title of The Last Jedi.
Exactly.
Because the way I look at that is the Jedi Order is probably going to end in this movie.
It is. It's going to end with...
And like
Luke, why couldn't I think of his name?
I'm not thinking that, but like I feel like even if Kylo and Ren did team up, they wouldn't call themselves like Grey Jedi because it's like the Jedi are dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that I look at is another thing that is also, and then this is kind of with the Rey that I wanted to bring up. You have mentioned this before, but it never really hit me like it did. We were reading through like crazy theories about Luke, which some of them very crazy.
Luke hunts porgs?
Luke hunts and eats porgs.
And eats. I'm sorry, I forgot the eats.
Which actually the porg, it hit me. They are this generation's Ewoks.
Yes.
Or will be. You want
will be.
You want to know why I'm thinking about that?
Why is that?
Think about How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Barney Stinson had a rule to where if the girl is over 30, it depends on when she has seen Star Wars. Because if she saw Star Wars young enough, then she would think the Ewoks are cute. She's cool. But if she thinks the Ewoks are stupid, that means she's too old. She's too old for Star Wars. She's too old for you. Get rid of her. I am close to 30 now, about 3 years off. And I think the porgs are the stupidest shit in the world. Or right now. I could watch the movie and fall in love with them. Right now, I think they are the stupidest thing in that trailer. However, if let's say I'm watching as a 10-year-old like I did the first Star Wars, then sure, I'd probably love them.
Yeah.
They are this generation's Ewoks.
Yes.
That is what they are. Back to the point though. You have said it before that you feel like Rey had met Luke before.
Yeah.
And the theory that was out there was that same thing. But do you think, and this is going to play into Rey totally, when Luke says, I've only seen this power once, it did not scare me then, but now it does. And I took out all the pauses because I wanted to get to the point.
Yeah.
Do you think when Kylo was going crazy, he was like, crap, Rey, I can't let anything happen to Rey. She's the most powerful. I can't let this power get used in the wrong hands. Dumps her on a desert planet. Basically say, hey, it doesn't scare me that I leave this weapon of mass destruction just laying here for anyone to find. But now, being reunited with her, it scares him.
I think what it is
because it was a younger Luke too. So like
it was a younger Luke. I'm just wondering the one thing about the power, the line of I've seen this power before. It doesn't scare, but it scares me now. It either could apply to Rey or it could apply to Kylo. It could apply to him because Kylo's super powerful too. In the first one that we saw, he stops a blaster,
the beam,
one-handed while doing other shit.
Yeah,
it's like
so he can concentrate his mind.
We've never seen that before. We've never seen them stop that. Like we've seen them stop blaster things with the lightsaber, and maybe even Vader did do. Yeah,
but like to stop it dead and then shoot it back.
Yeah, to stop it dead, keep it there while he's doing stuff, and then as he's like, okay, I'm done. Send it back. Like he didn't stop it like his palm and deflect. No, he stopped it mid-shot. That is very powerful. Excuse me. And for Rey to just like start learning her powers and to beat him, basically beat him in a hand-to-hand combat, that's got to be some pretty powerful shit then. So, I mean, that could be like, because she didn't really tap into her powers until then. So maybe he was like, I've seen this and it scares me, or it didn't scare me then. And then he sees Rey's powers, but it scares me now because he can see how powerful Rey is.
My question for you, and you might not know the answer, but I don't know either.
Probably not.
Do we have an official name for Star Wars Episode 9?
9? Not that I know of. I haven't looked into that yet.
No, right now on IMDb, it's right now just Episode 9. I'm gonna throw this out at you.
Okay.
And see what you feel in here. Could they go with an arc? Because my whole thing that I just thought of is, let's say Rey joins Kylo on the dark side.
Okay.
There's no balance.
No.
There's no Jedi. There's no good Jedi. The light has nothing. Will then 9 basically be I'm kind of thinking Return of the Jedi type thing of where it's basically Bodega's character. I'm blanking on his name. Not Poe.
Finn.
Finn. Will be Finn's role and their role that, hey, we got to bring Rey. We got to bring Rey back to the light, back to the good side. And that's what then Episode 9 is.
Could be.
Like we end Episode 8 with the cliffhanger of shit. Rey just went to the dark side.
I don't know. I don't feel like they would go with that if they follow the pattern like they kind of do with each 3 set. I don't see that happening just because, I mean, why would you... I don't know if you... I feel like you'd piss off a lot of people if you have 2 dark side and nothing light. It's basically like clean sweep at that point.
Yeah. Here's another thing I think about, and this is more so to a point that I think they could do. I think that Rey's character development in this movie is going... Apparently, Finn's character development, we're going to see a lot of his character develop, but I think Rey will have equally, if not more, character development because of the same kind of thing they do with Luke. If you think of Luke from Episode 4 to Episode 6, think about Episode 4 Luke. White clothing, younger kid, blue white saber, really naive. Now think of him in that first scene from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Black suit, green lightsaber, completely different Luke Skywalker. The cybernetic hand that he uses, much different Luke than we see. Think about Rey. What kind of clothing did we see her?
Very light colors.
Light colors, whites, tans. We're still seeing her in that and this. Something...
It's gotten a little bit darker now, actually.
Something, I think... And I don't want to be like, oh, you have to follow this mold, but if I know Star Wars, and I do, something tragic has to happen to Rey.
Yes.
Or will happen. Much like the Empire Strikes Back, where you had 2 for Luke. You had 1, the finding out Vader's his father, but then 2, losing his hand.
Yeah.
And having it fall down the shaft. So something has to happen to Rey, but what will it be?
It's a good question. I mean, it could be...
do we find out about her parents?
It could be...
If they're not Luke.
It could be her parentage, yeah. Maybe we find out about that, because there's the theory that it's Leia and Han, and she finds out, oh my god, that was my father I was with. There wouldn't be a big connection if it's just been like Kenobi, which is another theory.
Let me throw this out there at you. what if, and this I'm not saying is going to happen, this is just me spitballing, if they don't do like the Han Solo Leia connection.
Yeah.
What if it was her parents were either at or worked with Luke at the academy, and they were like in the carnage of Kylo?
Could be.
Where Kylo basically killed Rey's parents.
Maybe. I don't know. I wonder how that would be with the Academy, because Academy is more like, at least if we're going with the other Jedi Academy.
Well, that would mean her dad, for sure. I would think her dad, for sure, is a Jedi.
Yeah, that's true. Then that would have made him a Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Then that would explain why she has the powers. However, it wouldn't quite explain why Luke's saber, the blue lightsaber, called to her.
Exactly.
Which I think Luke's going to end up being related to her.
Yeah.
Whether it's her uncle or her father.
I think so too. I think it's going to be one of those two. Because I get it. Everyone's like, there's also like I said, there's the Ben Kenobi one out there. It's like, yeah, that's
she's a
cool.
distant because the blue,
like the granddaughter.
Because the blue lightsaber was originally Ben Kenobi's lightsaber.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I get where people go with that, because it'd be cool. It's again going with like the first one, and even the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, 5, 6. It kind of correlates along that, where it's Obi-Wan versus Skywalker.
And this is just a random thought that popped in my head. The last great Jedi that we've seen importantly in a movie was Qui-Gon. Was he the last great Jedi?
That's what it's out there that he said. There's nothing in the movies that say he is, but yeah, that's what people say.
Because he kind of goes against the Jedi Order.
He does. There's a lot of things he doesn't agree with the Jedi Order.
This intrigues me. This is another thing where it's kind of like, maybe it's just Disney in general knows what they're doing, but like Avengers, the whole Soul Stone thing, their Soul Stone thing.
There you go.
Don't know what they're doing with it. Don't know where it is. Rey and her lineage, don't know what's going to go on.
Keeping it a huge secret.
Any final thoughts you got for this one before we wrap this one
up?
I
can't wait to see it next week.
This is where you guys come in, though. Let us know down below. What do you guys think? Will Rey turn to the dark side? What do you think will be her development through The Last Jedi? And then tune into the channel. That's going to be, let's see, Star Wars comes out on the 15th, so that's going to be the 18th, if my mind calendar is correct. I'm going to actually pull up my actual calendar. Yeah, the 18th is when our Star Wars Last Jedi review will be posted on the YouTube channel, so we will have that for you guys. Let us know if there's anything you'd want us to talk about in the future down below in the comment section. A little bit of housekeeping before we end up. First off, MVP t-shirts. If you want your t-shirt, description has everything you need to know about that. It's basically send us an email with your shirt size, your name, and then your address, and we can get you that shirt and set up that entire process. It is in the description. If you're on iTunes, if you have an iTunes account, give us that 5-star rating. It would mean the world to us if you gave us Rick and Johnny Podcast, The Fast Break, the Onside Kick, the Primetime Podcast, all that beautiful 5-star rating. And lastly, patreon.com/most valuable podcast, just an extra way to help support the channel. We have a new improvement coming thanks to Jake, Christian, Brandon, Patrick. I got all the patrons there. Because of them, we're able to do new improvements. We have one coming for you guys January 1st, so that is going to be really exciting. You can help us out on Patreon in the link in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching and or listening, and as always, have a good day, everybody.